Utanu Maa's poetry is based on the life experience of her late brother, from neglected orphan to accomplished engineer to his death to HIV and AIDS.
Hi, my name is Shamira, and I'd first like to thank you for taking your time to share your story with us. Your book is truly an inspirational read. Can you tell us more about yourself?
I am Utanu Maa, the author of the book of poetry, Rise and Fall of My Beloved. To tell you more about myself, I was born and raised in the Democratic Republic of Congo in Africa. I came to Canada in 1991. I live in Toronto. I work as a public servant with the government of Ontario. I am a mother of one and I speak French and English, but French is my first language among many other languages.
How do you think your personal experiences have influenced your book?
Personal experience has influenced me in writing the book. Of course, this is a personal story, as you can see. It's about my own brother. It is a biographical story that I'm talking in my book. It is a personal experience. So the story is a true story. It is written from a personal experience. So that's
I read your book and I loved it. I found it very sad, but also very inspiring. A couple questions I had was, what inspired you to write poetry, either about your brother's life or just poetry in general?
I would say that for me, poetry is the expression of my heart, of my mind. It is an invitation into my emotions, into my feelings, and I wanted to take my readers to that journey I went through in witnessing someone suffering and dying of HIV, so that they can see what I see and they can feel what I feel, and hopefully this can change the view of the people living and suffering or dying of HIV.
How do you think that writing has changed?
The writing of this book for me was a journey to grieving and healing from the lost. It did happen at the time when COVID broke and everyone went into lockdown. My son was attending school at that time. He was graduating from Memorial University in Newfoundland, and I was alone in the house. So, and then dealing with the grievings that I had been carrying over a year, it was not something easy, really. So looking for someone to talk. There was nobody I can talk to. Everyone was living the anxiety of COVID. So I thought it would be a good idea if I just write down everything that was coming inside of me, all the emotions. So the writing really helped me to go through the grieving and heal. So it did a good thing for me. It has changed my life because I don't cry anymore. Feel a kind of relief inside of me and peace inside of me, and mostly resilience to continue.
What impact do you hope to make in the lives of others?
Hoping that when people will be reading my book, they can understand the importance of having an early diagnosis and also treatment of this disease. Because nowadays, with all the treatment we have, people should not be dying anymore. People should be having a long life under treatment. But unfortunately, when you neglect the treatment, or when people don't have access to early diagnosis or treatment, they get sick because they go from being infected with HIV, they develop AIDS, and then they die. So I'm hoping that with this book, people who have the first symptoms they will run to the hospital and get treatment so they can live longer. Because in my own brother experience, it was a denial that led him into developing AIDS and then dying. If he did get treatment on time when he was diagnosed, he could have lived up to now. So I'm hoping. And then the other thing I'm hoping with this book, as I said it before, that people will change the view about the stigma, the discrimination, the rejection, the isolation, the shame that we in the society impose to the people living with HIV. So I hope that they will change their mind and understand that one of the fundamental rights is dignity, and regardless of the disease they have or the way they died with, they are still human beings. They need compassion and they need dignity from the society.
And what advice would you give to those going through difficult times? I know right now with the COVID-19 pandemic, everybody's been dealing with a lot, people trying to cope with losing their family members, with losing their friends. And I was just wondering what advice you'd give to those people going through times like that.
Resilient.
Thank you.
Resilience is what we need a lot in our life, mostly in a time like this, or at any time when we're dealing with loss, big calamities like this one. We really need to stay resilient as human beings so that the world we live in, our humanity, can continue on, and us still being part of that humanity. We need to stay strong and hoping that everything will pass, and things will pass, all this will pass, things will get better. But resilience doesn't come on its own. Resilience comes when you know how to express gratitude. And expressing gratitude means counting your blessings, because life is not made always only of pain, suffering, diseases, calamities, pandemic. No. Life, despite the ugliness sometime of it, is also beautiful. It's also made with many moments of joy, love, happiness, even though short. You just have to sit back and look what was even the life of your loved one that have departed from this world. And remember, when we lose our loved ones, what else left with us than memories? It's only memories we keep for them, the lasting memories. And that's exactly what I was also talking about in my poem, Fond Memories. This is how I remember my brother. And this is what helped me to build resilience, not to see my brother just like another number of HIV/AIDS victim, but to put a human face on him, to humanize him, not to be ashamed even to talk that he died of HIV, because society is imposing us to be ashamed as if they were not human beings the moment they start suffering, they start having that disease. No, they're still human beings. Remember, as I said to you previously in my response, one of the most human fundamental right is dignity. So when you keep good memories of all this, despite that they are dying of COVID, of HIV or any other disease, you come to realize that they were human beings, full of life, full of joy. They brought a lot of joy in your life. You spent good times with them. They were valuable member of your family or even of the society. So you keep that memory alive. You see life in a more beautiful way, in a more positive way, and then you build resilience to go through. It's going to help you, and this is what helped me to really go through my pain, to grieve, and to heal. And yes, I'm going on to the point that I sat down and wrote the book. And if you see my book at the end, talks about gratitude. As you read my book, throughout you will be crying certainly, but when you come to the end, at the end I am exalting the gratitude. I am exalting the good time I had with my brother, the good person he was, the successful man he became in his life. Okay, so that's how I remember my brother, and that's what I can tell you. When you're losing your loved one with COVID, despite the fact that we don't come to see them, you will not have that privilege that I had to spend time with my brother up to the end and give him a proper burial. You will not have probably that privilege because of the distancing as safety measures, but you will still remember. You will still keep fond memories of them that will help you to be thankful, to say gratitude, and to build up resilience, to continue to live, to continue to laugh, to continue to dance, because, as I said, life is not always about pain, suffering, misery. Life is a beautiful gift. It's a joyful gift. Fond memories. Fond memories. I fondly remember my beloved brother. Together we dined and shared the same meal. Together in the living room we conversed or rested. Together we shared the same snacks presented in a bowl, where we both dug for fresh roasted peanut, yams, boiled sweet cassava, and the most exquisite tropical fruit. Zola enjoyed crunchy papaya. I fondly remember my beloved brother. I never missed this moment to tell him how much I loved him, with a tender kiss on his cheek, holding his hands or stroking his back. Delighted and shy, he smiled sweetly at me. Shy because Zola never said his love in words. Love here in his country is powerful in act, not in word, because it may seem fake if only vocalized without action. On that note, I would like to thank all of you for all your good actions. those actions show love. Thank you again.